Happy Easter Sunday. Well, the time you're seeing this, it's Easter Monday, technically, but happy Easter Sunday for me at the time of recording this, and we are done with the day. We're back in the gym, and we're back on into the video with the Transformation Series. Before we get into everything that happened today, hello, my name is Ian. Welcome into the Transformation Series. This is the series where we talk about all my nutrition, workouts, any happenings, weigh-in measurements, just anything that's going on in a transformation as we progress on day 108. Said 106 yesterday, was 107, so I know today's 108, I hope. And yeah, we're back in the gym for the day. We had a long day, we had a fun day, and without further ado, let's jump straight into talking about everything throughout today. Now, starting off, we're going to talk about sleep, because I feel like discussing sleep is important, and it's something to definitely mention on these. Like I mentioned in yesterday's video, I was running on like 3-4 hours of sleep, so this morning I definitely made up for some of those hours of sleep, got out of bed at 11 a.m., and got a little start off to our day around then. No breakfast for me today. Wanted to fast a little bit because I didn't eat the best yesterday. And in my mind, I like to have my small makeups times to get back on being better for the next day moving forward. So nothing there on early to start out our day. Realized when I woke up that it was Easter and that my gym hours were changed. They closed at 3 o'clock today, so I had to get my butt over there real quick. So I ended up getting to the gym to start off our day. Pretty much got out of bed, was on the phone with my grandparents and my parents, and then ran out to the gym. And today is our pull day, like it says in the title, of course, and we're finally hitting that pull day. I know I pushed it off for like 3 days with other stuff going on, so today we did hit our pull day and started off as always with some lat pull downs, my go-to to kick everything off. For me, what determines what I start off with is usually just on how much stretch I get in a workout. On a lat pull down, I'm getting the full lats and full engagement of my entire upper body. On chest, I do pec deck, so I'm getting that full stretch. It's just those more stretch-based movements. On legs, a leg press where I'm working a couple of those muscle groups. So that's really the goal on kicking off our days, and started off with that. Started off with a heavier weight for today. Started off with 120 on the lat pull downs. Did that 5 sets, 8 reps each, to kick us off nice and heavy, because I've been missing the gym for a couple days and obviously wanted to feel the burn, which we did today. So immediately after that, moving over onto the cable for a little bit on that, we started off with a single arm bicep curl. I like doing those on the cable with the single rope just because I can get that full range of motion and just get a really good stretch in my bicep, and I'm a really big fan of just how it feels. Plus they were playing a Scooby-Doo movie, and I kind of got locked into the Scooby-Doo movie while I was doing my workout, and it was right there. So that doesn't really have too much relation to do with what weights we're lifting, but definitely something to keep me at the cable. And that single arm is obviously a bit of a longer workout because you're doing it for both arms, which means you're basically doubling up your sets. After that, moving over to some face pulls. Really like face pulls, really like how they feel. One of my top workouts for sure, except for my shoulder doesn't really love them as much. I'm not exactly sure why, but I know when I hit a face pull, sometimes my shoulder just feels a little funky. It doesn't feel like bad, it just like a little nick in there, and I'm like, we're fine though. So ran through those and then did some pullovers to end out our cable time, and yeah, those are nice and simple. Grabbed a different bar for today. I wasn't a fan of it. I grabbed one of the shorter straight bars. I like the ones with a little curve on the ends where I can get the full grip, kind of like a handlebar mustache, but in bar form is the best way I can describe that. So we did those, and then for wrapping up our biceps, I did a different movement for today. I did a incline bench preacher curl or bicep curl. I don't know if it's technically a preacher curl. I don't know what it would be called, but making sure we're sitting on basically the same setup you would have for an incline dumbbell or an incline bench, but instead just like leaning back and doing a full, I'm going to do it up here, like straighten of your arm into a bicep curl with dumbbells, which is newer for me and something that I was definitely a big fan of today because I felt the full stretch in that, again, which is one of my targets, and I got a really good range of motion and it felt really good. So we ended up doing those on some 20 pounders just because it was the first time I ever did it. Next time we'll definitely bump that up to 25 or 30 pounds though, because those are feeling a little light for today. And then for wrapping up our weights today, did a rear delt on the pec deck, something that I've kind of gotten away from a little bit. And I was debating between that and rows because I didn't know which one I wanted to do. I didn't know if I wanted to do like T-bar rows, seated rows, or a rear delt. I was drawn to the rear delt just because I haven't hit it in a long time and felt like I really wanted to. So I ended up doing that. And something that I definitely missed on my workouts, and I definitely want to add. And then I also should have added the rows. I shouldn't have chosen between them. I'd like to add the rows and maybe one more bicep movement, maybe 21s or something, or maybe some straight hammer curls. But all hindsight's 2020, so I'm not going to complain on that. And to wrap up the gym for the day, the usual for me, half an hour on the treadmill, 7.5 incline, 2.5 speed, watching some playoff hockey on my phone. Big hockey fan. It's playoffs. They just started 2 nights ago. Yeah, I think so, and got locked into one of those for that 30 minutes. And then a little bit of time in the sauna, only like 10 minutes today because the gym was closing and they turned that off a little bit earlier than the gym closes, so got kicked out. And yeah, that was our gym time for today. A really good start to the day. And yeah, I really don't have many days that are better than starting with the gym, which I'm going to aim to do come when I wake up. But we'll see what that timing looks like, of course, as it is 1 o'clock in the morning and I have work. So we have to see when I can wake up and feel good to go. So that was our start for the day, and then got back home, had a little bit of food then. Simpler meals for today. I had a deli meat wrap. My parents came into town last weekend and I gave me some deli meats, which, by the way, the macros on deli meats are actually kind of like good in terms of like calorie to protein value, which I was really happy with. Obviously they're straight protein, they're meat, so it makes sense, but yeah, good macros on those. Threw a little light mayo and hot sauce with some deli meat and a pickle, wrapped that up on some carb balanced tortillas, and that was my meal to start the day, with a slice of the protein banana bread we made last night, which was really good. I let it overcook a little bit. It was a little darker than I wanted it to be, and like the shell was kind of tough, but ended up actually tasting really good. I don't know if it was just I used better bananas or baking it longer is better. I don't know. Or it was just a little placebo, which it definitely could have been, but had a good slice of that. And yeah, that was our lunch for the day. And then just a little bit of chores, did a little extra laundry that I left in the dryer last night that I had to do, and then played a bunch of games throughout the day with some buddies. Again, it was still a buddy's birthday, so we played some games and just hung out for a little bit. Did get some fresh air. We went for our walk/run a little sooner today. Went around 7:38, and yeah, it was getting a little darker, but the weather is beautiful, so I wanted to get out in the sun before it fully set. And today was a little different with that. Usually I do a lot more walking than I do running. Today I was doing a lot more running than usual. And it was the first time that I actually sprinted in a long time, and that was really out of nowhere. I was just doing a jog, and I'm like, you know what, I want to run right now. I want to see how fast I can get going and how that feels, because I haven't ran fast. I haven't sprinted in a long time. Obviously, with being a large man, I'm obviously not running, or else I'd be skinny. So did that, and it was really fun. Definitely got into points where I was just like walking for 30 seconds, then doing a quick little sprint, and did that a good few times, I'd say up to 10 times, and was moving pretty well, which I was really happy with. And except for my phone, like my shorts and my phone were not a fan, so I had to take it out of my pocket and hold it in my hand because it was like banging against my thigh, and that hurt. I got a bruise from it, which is really weird. But yeah, went for our walk/run a little early, did a lot more running, just a little spark notes to recover on that, and then came back in, took a shower, and had some dinner, which was pretty much the same thing from earlier, but just with shredded chicken instead of the lunch meats. And that was our dinner for the day, minus the protein banana bread, because I stuffed a lot of chicken in those and didn't want to overdo it. I wasn't feeling super hungry since I had eaten around 2, and this was now coming in on 9:30. Obviously, there's a good amount of time in between those, but I wasn't feeling super hungry, considering I have been obviously chugging water, and that takes up a lot of my stomach space. I also cooked some steak and rice that I didn't end up eating for tonight just because I wanted to get rid of that chicken, and I'll just have some meal preps for moving forward into the week because I had a steak that really needed to be cooked, and some peppers and onions and some veggies with that, and that was our meal for today. Probably going to get another round of chicken and make some crock pot buffalo chicken mac and cheese, which there is a protein-based version for. Use like non-fat cheese, protein pasta and chicken, and then a crap ton of hot sauce, and that's going to be the plan for that meal. Buddy sent me a recipe. It looks really good, so I want to give that a try, and that'll be pretty much our entire meal prep ready for this week because I'm leaving on Monday, and Chipotle is doing a deal right now with the NHL playoffs. If you wear a hockey jersey, go into the location, you get a buy one, get one entree. If anybody knows me, I love free food and I love free things. Obviously, I have to pay for one, but I'm perfectly fine with paying for one if it's going to get me two, because that can be honestly 4 meals of food right there. I can just get an entree with a side tortilla, well, entree, 2 side tortillas, which the tortillas aren't super calorie friendly, but obviously if you don't have as much in it, it's not going to be too bad. And Chipotle does tend to be a little lower calorie and maybe a little extra protein in there. So I'm going to figure out a healthier bowl version and then just get like 4 meals worth of food. I'll have 2 burritos and then 2 bowls pretty much. One bowl I'll just turn into 2 burritos, and then the other bowl I just have, and bing bang boom. A lot of meal prep for the week, with this just going to be like rice and chicken or rice and steak. So really happy with that and really looking forward to getting that done tomorrow. So we're going to be set on the food side of things. But yeah, that pretty much wrapped up today and wrapped up a lot of my thoughts. Ranted on a couple things today, but as always, thank you so much for hopping in and joining me on this video on the transformation. We'll be doing our weigh-in either tomorrow or Tuesday. I'm not too sure on when I'm going to get that in. Obviously, it just depends on how I'm feeling in the morning and how much time I have with work and all. And if I have to like run out to the gym or something, I obviously don't have as much time. So yeah, that's going to be where we wrap things up for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to do better tomorrow. Make a better version of yourself. Make steps between today and tomorrow that are going to make tomorrow you happy with the steps and decisions you have made up to that point. And without further ado, I'll see you in the next one.